Hello, Algebra 2 folks, and welcome to Solving Equations. This might be a little bit of a review. I do need you to make sure that you write down the learning target and the definitions and all three examples today. So take out your notes, a pencil, and a calculator, and we will get started. So the learning target today is I can solve a multi-step equation. Okay, so we're going to have many different steps happening while we solve these equations. A definition that I need you to write down is to solve. What does to solve mean? To solve means to find the solution or solutions to an equation. It also means to find the value that makes the statement true. Okay, so if x is equal to 4 and I plug 4 back into my equation, it's going to make the equation true or the statement true. Okay, that's really important that when we get a solution that we plug it back in to verify that our solution is correct. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with example number 1. This says 3 times the quantity of x plus 4 is equal to negative 2 times the quantity of x minus 5. So we're going to go ahead and solve this equation. First, we're going to use the distributive property. The 3x plus 12 is equal to negative 2x plus 10. Okay, and now that we have an equation here, we can go ahead and solve for x. Now remember, we have an equal sign here, and if we are going to cross that equal sign, we have to make sure we use inverse operations. So I'm going to go ahead and move this negative 2x to the other side, but I'm going to cross that equal sign. I have to do the inverse of adding or of subtracting 2x, which is adding 2x. I got a little ahead of myself there for a second. 3x plus 2x is 5x. Bring the 12 down, bring the 10 down because those two cancel. Now I have 5x plus 12 equals 10. The inverse of adding 12 would be subtracting 12. I want to get that 5x alone before I can do anything with that 5. All right, now I bring down the 5x, and that is equal to negative 2 because the 12s cancel out. And now the inverse of multiplying 5 times x would be dividing by 5. And I would get x equals negative 2/5. So my solution is hopefully negative 2/5. But before I can say that's for sure my solution, I should make sure that it makes the statement true. So I'm going to use my calculator, and I'm going to go ahead and check my solution. So I'm going to use my calculator, and I'm going to type in negative 2/5 plus 4 into my calculator, and I'm going to get 18/5. Okay, and 3 times 18/5 is 54/5. And then I'm going to make sure that that is the same or makes the other side also the same. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in negative 2/5 minus 5, and I get negative 27/5. I take that times negative 2, and I get 54/5. I have just verified that negative 2/5 makes the statement true. All right, let's go ahead and do an example number 2. Example number 2 is 3x plus 2 times the quantity of x minus 3 equals 24. Again, we need to use the distributive property. So we get 2x minus 6 equals 24. And remember, we have that fence there, or the equal sign. And when I look at this, the 2x and the 3x, they're on the same side. And if they're on the same side, we can go ahead and add those together. You will not use inverse operations if they're on the same side. We'll bring down that negative 6. That equals 24. Again, I'm trying to get that x alone. Before I can do that, I need to go ahead and just keep that as a group and get rid of the negative 6. So to move the negative 6, I would add 6 to both sides, and I would get 5x equals 30. And then the opposite of multiplying is dividing. and x will equal 6. Now again, I want to make sure my statement is true, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little checking. I'm going to do 3 times 6 plus 2 times 6 minus 3, and hopefully that comes out to be 24. So this would be 3 times 6 is 18, plus 2 times 3 is hopefully 24. 18 plus 6 does give us 24. So this is the solution that makes this statement true. All right, one last problem for this evening. We're going to go ahead and solve for x. There's no distributive property here, but there is a scary fraction. Not that scary though. It'll be fine. We have 2/7 x minus 2 equals 10. I want to get that isolated. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 to both sides because I have to cross the equal sign. So we have 2/7 x equals 12. 2/7 is being multiplied by x. And if you recall, we talked about the dividing by a fraction in class the other day, and we wouldn't divide by a fraction, we would multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply by the reciprocal on both sides. That cancels to make 1x, and 12 times 7 over 2 would come out to be 42. And how I did that in my head is I made the 12 a fraction. 2 goes into 12 6 times, and 6 times 7 is 42. So I didn't even need a calculator there. Now I'm also going to make sure I check to verify that this is true. 2/7 times 42 minus 2 will hopefully give us 10. So 7 goes into 42 6 times. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 minus 2, it certainly is 10. So that is the solution that makes the statement true. All right, that's all I got for you today, folks. And we'll be seeing you soon to practice more of these problems. Thank you.